Okay, students, we are starting empirical and molecular formula. Now, this is a part of mole concept and stoichiometry. But this in this year 2020 ICC syllabus, most of the part of this chapter has been deducted, and you have only empirical and molecular formula in your syllabus. Now, previously there used to Gay-Lussac's law, Avogadro's law, and problem based on chemical equations. Now, all those are not coming this year. So this year we have only empirical and molecular formula. So today I'll explain you how to find empirical and molecular formula. Now in fact molecular formula is a real formula that we know. The chemical formula that we talk about, that is called molecular formula. But what is empirical formula? Empirical formula is the simplest formula that just gives us the ratio of the atoms, that is present, ratio of the elements, you can say, that is present in the compound. Say for example, now if I say this is C2H6, now this is the molecular formula of ethane. Okay. Now molecular formula means it gives us exactly how many atoms of the elements are present. So that means we can see in this 2 atoms of carbon and 6 atoms of hydrogen are present in ethane. So that is the molecular formula, and that is the real formula. So this is the molecular formula. But empirical formula is the simplest ratio. Okay, now suppose if a ratio is 2:6, so we don't say 2:6, we say in fact it is 1:3. The ratio is 1:3. So empirical formula is also that. So this is the molecular formula C2H6, but the empirical formula will be after cutting the common terms. The empirical formula is this. Understand? So this is the empirical formula, and this is the in fact molecular formula. Okay, so now I will explain you how to find out this empirical and molecular formula. Okay, now for finding molecular formula, we have to first find out the empirical formula, because from empirical formula we deduce molecular formula. So for finding empirical formula first, generally these elements that is present in the compound, the percentage of those compound present in them, that's called the percentage composition, and naturally the atomic mass. Now these three will be given in the question. Understand? So these are the 3 parts that will be given in your question. So that is what they will give you, which elements are present. For example, in this sum we have carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. They will give you the percentage composition. Is given carbon, it is 26.59%, hydrogen it is 2.22%, and oxygen it is 71.19%. So this is given, and naturally the atomic mass is will also be given. So that is 12, 1 and 16 respectively. After that we have to calculate this 2 part. The first thing is that I have to calculate the atomic ratio, and then we have to calculate the simplest ratio. Now for atomic ratio, what we will divide this percentage composition divide by atomic mass. So that means I will do 26.59 by 12. Okay, I'm just keeping more space here. Then you have here 2.22 by 1, and here you have 71.19 by 16. Okay, so we'll calculate this first, this division. Now these divisions you can do orally, okay, just normally you can do, and generally we'll take correct to 2 decimal place. Okay, so we'll do up to correct to 2 decimal place. So you can see here it's 26, so directly I can say it is 2, 12 to the 24, then 2 left, it becomes 25, but here is a point, you can give a point here, and then 12 again, 12 to the 24, 1 left, and then 1 and 9 becomes 19, and then we can say 12 ones are 12, and then after that 7 will be left, so it will be more or less it will be 2.216, right? So approximately we will write up to correct to 2 decimal place, so it becomes 2.22. Understand? So orally you can do like that. Now this one 2.22 by 1, that you will get as 2.22, and here you can see 71, so 16 into 4s are 64, then again 7 left, then again you are getting 71, again here is a point, so you can keep here point, again 12 4s are again 64, again 7 left, 7 9, so again we are getting 12 5s are 12 6 are 72 more or less. So we are getting 4 point, in fact we are getting 4 point, we will get 4.45 in fact. Okay, so finally here we are getting 4.45. Now we will calculate the simplest ratio. Now for calculating the simplest ratio, what we will do, out of these values that we got, we will take the smallest value out of all this. Now here coincidentally these two values is same, but we'll compare all the values that we got, and out of all the values we'll take the smallest value, and with that smallest value we'll divide every value. Understand what I am telling? You can see out of these values, the least value, the smallest value is 2.22. So we will divide every of this value with 2.22 itself. So that means here the simplest ratio, it becomes 2.22 by the smallest value 2.22. Here again we are getting 2.22 by, again we are getting 2.22, right? And then next one what we have, 4.45 by 2.22. So you can understand, if you cancel you get 1, if you cancel you get 1, and if you cancel you get more or less it will be 2, because it is 2.22 into 2, that becomes 4.44. so you can understand all approximation value. So finally we can say, therefore the ratio of C is to H is to O is equal to 1 is to 1 is to 2. Understand? So this becomes this ratio will be the empirical formula. Now hence we can say that empirical formula is C1H1O2, and as you know we don't write 1, so directly we write CHO2. So we write CHO2, and this is the empirical formula. Understand? So this is how we get empirical formula. Now molecular formula. Now note, to get molecular formula, from empirical formula, molecular weight is required. Okay, molecular weight will be required. So that will be given, you can understand. So in the question, if they ask you to find molecular formula, naturally they will give you molecular weight, because molecular weight is required to calculate the molecular formula. But if molecular weight is not given directly, they may give you vapor density, because you have to also remember this relation, that molecular weight is equal to 2 into vapor density. So this you have to remember So if molecular weight is directly given, no problem, but if molecular weight is not given directly, they may give you vapor density, and from that vapor density you can get the molecular weight, because molecular weight is equal to 2 into vapor density. Okay, so that's about this molecular weight. Now in this sum also we have to calculate the molecular formula, and here they have given the vapor density, given, say vapor density is given 45. So as I have told you, molecular weight is required, so we will calculate molecular weight first. So molecular weight is 2 into vapor density, so that becomes 2 into 45 is equal to 90. Okay, so this is the molecular weight. Now see, as I have told you before that the empirical formula is the simplest formula. So the molecular formula we can start like this, let the molecular formula be CHO2 whole N. Okay, CH, so this becomes the molecular formula. Okay, because if you remember, just now I have given you an example of ethane C2H6. Okay, this example I have started with this C2H6. So this is the molecular formula. But empirical formula, what I told, empirical formula is this common term. So this is empirical formula. Now from empirical formula I can say that CH3 and whole twice, that gives you this molecular formula, and then it becomes C2H6. Understand? So that is the concept of empirical and molecular formula, and hence we are taking let the molecular formula be empirical formula. We got this CHO2 we are taking as CHO2 whole N. Now we can, it's given that RMM, that's relative molecular mass or the molecular weight, is 90. Given RMM is equal to 90, and therefore you can say RMM of CHO2 whole N is equal to 90. So that means since this is the molecular formula, so the total weight of this, that means the total relative molecular mass should be 90. So just get the RMM of this. So RMM of CHO2 whole N should be equals to 90. So that means we have what? 12 plus hydrogen is 1 plus oxygen is 16. So we have 2 into 16. Okay, and into N. Okay, into N, and that is equals to 90. Understand? So now you can see it is 12 plus 1 13, and 16 into 2 32, 33. We are getting 45N is equal to 90. So 45N equals to 90, and therefore N equals to 90 by 45. So we get N is equal to 2. Understand? So N equals to 2. Now we can get molecular formula. Therefore the molecular formula was what? CHO2 whole twice. That becomes, then we will multiply with everybody. We get C2H2O4. Understand? Clear? So this was the empirical formula, and this is the molecular formula. Okay, understand? Okay, now see in this sum. Now this is also same sum, but in this sum, instead of percentage, they have directly given you the mass. So there is no such difference. But you see the sum first. What they told, 0.5 gram of an organic compound contains 0.062 gram of hydrogen and 0.25 gram of oxygen, and vapor density is given. We have to determine the molecular formula. Now first of all you have to understand this is an organic compound. Organic compound means it is a carbon compound. So carbon has to be there. And you can understand here they have given you hydrogen, they have given you oxygen, they have not given the mass of carbon. But since they have given us the total mass, so we can calculate the mass of carbon. So we have to calculate the mass of carbon first. So what will be the mass of carbon? Mass of carbon will be 0.5 minus, this plus this, 0.062 plus 0.25. Okay, so then after calculating we will get 0.188 gram. Okay, and now we will put as it is the elements first: carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. Mass in gram, this is carbon is 0.188, hydrogen is 0.062 and oxygen is 0.25. Okay, and then atomic mass will also be given. Carbon is 12, hydrogen is 1 and oxygen is 16. So now same thing in case of percentage, we write element and then percentage and then atomic mass, and then we divide percentage by atomic mass. Here we will divide mass by atomic mass, given mass by atomic mass. Okay, so this place, this percentage place is replaced by mass in gram. The other rules are similar, we have to calculate in the similar way. So what we get here, number of atoms 0.188 by 12. This one will be 0.062 by 1 and then 0.25 by 16. Okay, understand? So in the first one we will get 0.016. So you get 0.016. Now this one will get a 0.062. Okay, and 0.25 by 16 also we are getting 0.016. Okay, now for getting the simplest ratio, again the same rule. Out of these three values, whichever value is the least value, with the least value we have to divide everybody. So the least value is 0.016. So simplest ratio here it will be 0.016 by the least value 0.016. So we will get as 1. Similarly again 0.062 by 0.016. You can understand 16 into 4s are 64, so approximately it will be 4. So I have told you as it is, we will write all approximate values. Okay, and again here also again we will get 0.016 by 0.016 and we get 1. Understand? So what we get, therefore we get carbon is to hydrogen is to oxygen is equal to what? 1 is to 4 is to 1, and therefore empirical formula. Empirical formula is CH4O. Okay, CH4O. And now we have to find the molecular formula. So for molecular formula, first we will get that molecular weight, and molecular weight is 2 into vapor density, that is 2 into 32. Okay, 64. And now we can say ki let the molecular formula be what? CH4O and whole N. And now we can say RMM of CH4O and whole N is equal to how much? 64. And now we will calculate. C is 12, then plus, then 4 into 1, then plus, and then 16 and into N. Okay, is equal to, so into N is equal to 64. So you are getting 6420 and 32N, again 32N is equal to 64. So we get N equals to 2. And N equals to 2 means now the molecular formula will be what? CH4O and whole twice, and that is equal to C2 H8O2. Okay, C2H8O2. Okay, understand? Okay, now see this sum. Now here they told a compound has oxygen this much percent, sulfur, hydrogen, zinc, all the percentages are given. The relative molecular mass is also given 287, and we have to find the molecular formula. Okay, but last what they have told, find the molecular formula of the compound assuming that all the hydrogen is present as water of crystallization. So only to explain you this part I am doing this sum, otherwise the sum is a normal molecular formula sum. Okay, so I will explain you later. First let us calculate the empirical formula and then the molecular formula. Now I have done the calculation from before, okay, just to save time. So as you know, I have put it here: zinc, sulfur, oxygen and hydrogen. These four elements are given. Zinc it is given, zinc it is 22.65, sulfur 11.15%, oxygen 61.32% and hydrogen 4.88%. Atomic mass of zinc is 65, sulfur is 32, oxygen is 16 and hydrogen is 1. Then we have to find the atomic ratio. Atomic ratio, percentage by atomic mass. So 22.65 by 65, this one will be 11.15 by 32. This one will be 16.32 by 16 and then 4.88 by 1. Okay. Now 22.65 by 65 approximately will get 0.35. In fact, you are getting 0.348, and after rounding off, I told you more or less we will do 2 decimal place. So after rounding off, we are getting as 0.35. Now here also we are getting 0.35. Here 61.32 by 16 we are getting 3.83, and here we are getting 4.88. And after that what you have to do, out of this 4 value, which one is the least value? The least value is 0.35. Now we have to divide every of this value with the least value, that's 0.35. Okay, so the first one will be 0.35 by 0.35, 1. Second one will be 0.35 by 0.35, again it is 1. Now third one will be 3.83 by 0.35, right? 3.83 by 0.35. You can see we are getting 10.94. So approximately we will take it as 11. Okay, we will take it as 11. Similarly, 4.88 by 0.35 we are getting 13.94. Here also approximately we will think it as 14, the ratio. Understand? So now we can get the empirical formula. Now therefore we can say Zn is to S is to O is to H is equal to how much? 1 is to 1 is to 11 is to 14. Okay, and therefore empirical formula will be Zn S O11 and H14. This one will be our empirical formula. Okay, now we have to find the molecular formula. Now we can say let the molecular formula be Zn S O11 H14 and whole n, and therefore we can say RMM of Zn S O11 H14 and whole n should be is equal to 287. Now we'll calculate. Zinc is 65 plus 34 plus 16 into 11, okay, oxygen, and plus 14 into 1, and whole n is equal to 287. Okay, now we will calculate what? 65 plus 34 and 16 into 11, 160, 70, 176, and plus 14 into n is equal to 287, 76, 80, 90, 50. So 10 and we are getting how much? 65 plus 34 plus 176 plus 14. Okay. Okay, in fact, okay, sulfur is 32, in fact, sorry. Now, if you calculate here, we will get 76 and then 90, 55, 65, 75, 85 and 87. Here we are getting 287 into n is equal to 287. And finally, you can understand we are getting the value of n as 1. Okay. Now, therefore, the molecular formula is, will get same, okay, right? Zn SO11H14, okay, into 1, and that is Zn SO11 and H14. But as you have seen here, what they have told, assuming that all the hydrogen that is present as water of crystallization, that means whatever hydrogen will be present, hydrogen will not be present independently, then that hydrogen will be present in form of water. Okay, so I have to write the formula in this way. First I am writing water, because you know water of crystallization is generally written at last. So H2O, that's water. Hydrogen, how many hydrogen is there? 14. Now here I should put 7, right? 7 H2O. Now you can see hydrogen become 14. So hydrogen is 14 and oxygen is how much? Oxygen is 7, but actual oxygen is how much here? 11. That means still 4 oxygen left, and Zn and S is 1 1. So finally Zn will be as it is, Zn S will be as it is, and oxygen there is 11. Out of that 11, 7 has gone, 4 is left. So it is ZnSO 4.7H2O. So the formula will be written like this. Understand? Zinc Zn1, sulfur 1, oxygen 11 means 4 here and 7 there. So 7 plus 4, 11, and hydrogen 14. All the hydrogen is present in form of water, and this is ZnSO 4.7H2O. So all the hydrogen is in the form of water of crystallization. So this is what you have to do in this sum. Okay, understand? So this is the end of empirical and molecular formula. Okay, I hope you can do all the other remaining sums. Okay.